John Schelp, and I'm talking about Irwin Cotton Mills on 9th Street. I live in Old West Durham, right near Duke and 9th Street. All right, well, the first thing is are a couple bobbins from the mills, and I was in an old mill village on Okanichi Mountain in Hillsborough, and looking in the old fireplaces of the houses that had gone back into the woods, and found these little metal rings. And I brought the metal rings home, and they match the metal rings that go around the base of the bobbins that fitted into the shuttlecocks that went back and forth in the loom in the weave room. And that's because old bobbins, the mill workers took them home and used them for kindling in the fireplace. And so the fireplaces in this old mill village were filled, the ashes were filled with little metal rings. The second thing I wanted to show you was a reed hook. A reed hook was used by mill workers in the weave room to grab any loose threads that broke during when the shuttlecocks were going back and forth across the loom, and a thread broke. The person in the weave room would grab the thread with a reed hook, which is a handle made of wood, or this one is made out of buttons. The mill workers made their own tools, and they were very personal tools. And this is one made out of plastic buttons for the handle, and then a brass hook, like a crochet hook, that you grab the thread and pull it in and tie the thread back together, and the machine can keep operating. And the third thing I want to show were these spools over here that are painted all different colors of white, yellow, pink, blue, black. Those were painted by the mill workers so they could eyeball quickly and distinguish between the spools so they know what color thread to put back on the spool when it goes empty.
Ralph Rogers. I'm a pharmacist, and I had a drugstore here, Rogers Drug Company. Now I live off of Old Chapel Hill Road, but when I was a child, I lived about a block from Main Street. I'd say 90% of the prescriptions had to be compounded. Now, about 10% of them have to. But anyway, this is a mortar pestle that we use to grind up things that make them more palatable or mix them or whatnot. And, of course, then you had to use a balance. This bottle, these rough places on it, these would have poison ingredients. And the reason they got these knobs on it is at night when you were half asleep and went in and opened the medicine chest and pulled out a bottle and don't take a drink of it or something, you would know not to drink this one.
Merrigan. I do. I live in Old West Durham. I brought my piano, full 88-key upright piano. It's a spinet piano, which is small on the scale of pianos, but it still weighs 300 or 400 pounds, and it has wheels, luckily. I busk playing the piano as a hobby around the city, keep it downtown at my office in 5 Points at Center Studio Architecture, and I push it out on the street whenever I can to play basically for the public. Part of the fun of it is the fact that it is a piano being pushed out onto the street, is a little different than a guitar or something that is obviously more portable. So someone heard about the project, the idea of getting a piano and putting wheels on it and a trailer and putting it in the trailer when I need to, and contacted me and said that they had a spinet, a little piano like this that would be probably well suited, and they were looking to unload it, and we're only asking a fair price, which in the end ended up being about $150, which is a good price for a piano of this quality, which is not a high quality piano, but is perfectly suited for what I'm using it for, which is bringing it out in the weather, which you don't normally want to do with a piano, and playing it outside and in different environments. I did a lot of modifications, mainly to the body of it or the case of it. I've taken every removable panel off of it so that it will project sound a little better. And also that's part of the fun, is seeing the action, seeing the hammers hitting the strings as I'm playing it. It's also been painted by members of the community as a part of a Paint the Piano party I had about a year ago, where people could paint it, and therefore it could really be sort of part of the community and belong a little bit to the people. So I don't really play with a set list. I don't like taking that level of organization for something that's supposed to just be fun and spontaneous. So I've actually written songs that I know and like. Most of them are original, but some of them are covers on parts of the piano, in this case the keys, not the playable part of the keys, but the part of the keys that extend back into the action of the piano. I've written all the song names on them so that as I'm playing I can think, oh, what am I going to play next, and sort of look down and see a whole list of songs that I like to play. Today I think I'm going to be playing an old boogie-woogie song by an artist named Clarence Lofton, and he wasn't really a big known player in the 30s, but he definitely encapsulates the boogie-woogie style more so than I think a lot of the other players do, and has a unique sound. So that's a new one that I've kind of just, today will probably be the first time I play it out. It kind of ebbs and flows with sort of what I'm learning and what I'm excited about any given week or month.